Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm doing a full face using Chanel makeup and I'm featuring new products that I've gotten from the Chanel holiday collection this year. I really wanted to create a smoky look for today's video, but I wanted it to be a soft smoky look because if it's too dark for me, then I personally am not as comfortable. Now, I love it on other people. Back in the day, I used to love it on myself as well. But as I've gotten older, you know, my preference in makeup has changed a little bit. So I want to share that with you guys. And one thing I really enjoy doing is I like to include tutorials within my videos. So although a lot of my videos are first impressions, I do a lot of review videos, I also want to share with you guys how I work with these products. And because the Chanel holiday collection is a newer release, I wanted to take the opportunity and use the products that I've gotten from that collection for today's video so that I can show you how I would achieve a look like today's that I think is perfect for a night out. The way I had it before I added on the shimmery lids, I think was actually a pretty nice smoky look on its own. You guys will see what I'm talking about later in the video. And for me, that was very wearable. Honestly, even throughout the day, I think a smoky look like that I would even wear. So for me, again, this is a very comfortable, soft, smoky look that I think a lot of you guys will enjoy. So I'm going to share with you all the products that I use, how I've been using them, and with most of them I am going to be including a little review. So it's going to kind of be a recap of the brand and all the products that I'm wearing. So not everything of the brand because I have a lot of Chanel makeup. I mean, I absolutely love Chanel beauties, so I have quite a bit of it. Now, if you guys are new to my channel, hello and welcome. I am Suzana and I love talking about luxury makeup, high-end makeup. That is just where my heart is. So if you guys are into that bougie makeup yourself, please make sure to subscribe and follow me on Instagram so that we can communicate and talk about makeup, because after all, you guys, that is why I'm here. This is my outlet and I only have you guys to share that with. So please contact me if you have any questions on the products that I talk about throughout my videos, new releases, whatever it may be. As long as it's about makeup, I'm always down for the conversation. Now, before we get into the actual tutorial, I do want to share with you guys the products that I did get from the holiday collection. The first product you're going to be seeing throughout the tutorial is this eyeshadow. I wanted to get an eyeshadow where I can use it as a standalone shadow, and I felt that out of the 4 that were released, this one would be perhaps perfect for that. I will be sharing with you guys how I would use this as a standalone eyeshadow today. I also ended up getting, because of course I had to get this, the blush. I mean, the moment I saw pictures of this, honestly, I didn't even know exactly what it was, but I knew I was gonna get my hands on it, and here we are. My hands are on it. I also picked up one of their Rouge Allure lipsticks. I did get the lightest shade out of the 4 that were released. It might have been 5, but pretty sure it was 4. So I will be sharing my thoughts on this with you guys as well. None of this is a first impressions. I have been using these products, and of course everything else that I apply in today's video I have been using for a longer period of time, because those are products that I've had in my collection for a while. Okay, so let's start with primer, and I'm gonna use this one as a primer today, although I don't like to use this as a primer because I like to use it as a standalone tint. But what the heck, I don't have an actual primer from Chanel. So by the way, in case you guys do not know, mine's all disgusting and dirty. This is called the Les Beiges Water Fresh Tint, and I have the shade medium. So I actually like to pump this straight onto my skin so that when I go in with a brush, it immediately starts to break up the curls, that's where the actual pigment is, onto my skin, and I don't waste any product. So just like this. And I'm just gonna do 1 pump on each side since I'm just applying this as a primer today. For my foundation brush, I'm using the Wayne Goss number 1. I was actually just noticing that I don't have any brushes from Chanel. I have the little one that came with this, which is really good, and I cannot seem to find at the moment. But yeah, besides that, I don't have any. So if you guys have a brush that you like from the brand, let me know, because I kind of want to have some now. I am a huge brush collector. I love makeup brushes. Okay, so for foundation, I've been using this one from Chanel. This is the newest one. I did do a review on this, and I was kind of on the fence during that review as to how I felt about this foundation. To tell you guys the truth, I'm kind of on the same boat. This is the Les Beiges Healthy Glow Foundation, Hydration, and Long Wear. So this is really good because it's very liquidy. I really enjoy the coverage. I usually use about 2 pumps and I get a solid medium coverage with it, which honestly for me is perfect. My issue though with this foundation is I feel that after a few hours, my makeup starts to look a little makeup-y, for lack of a better word. And yeah, I'm just not fond with it, honestly. Like, I like it, but I really just don't love it at all. I definitely have other foundations that I enjoy way more. And yeah, I mean, for that reason, although I have been using this one, it's not one that I reach for because I want to use it. I've been using it like more so to test it out and see how I actually feel about it. And honestly, I think in a way, one of the reasons why I'm a little hesitant to say, okay, I don't like it, or to say something negatively about this foundation is because I'm actually a huge fan of all the foundations I've tried from Chanel. So it kind of hurts me to say that this one I don't like, but again, it's not so much that I don't like, I just have other ones that I like more. Okay, I'm gonna stop rambling about that. I think you guys get the gist. It's good, but it's just not my favorite. So do you guys see how good the skin looks when I first apply this? This is one of the reasons why I have such a hard time saying that overall it's just not my favorite. I know I'm repeating myself again. I love this. It gives a very nice radiant finish, but it doesn't look too dewy. It just looks perfect, which is very healthy, very natural looking at first. Unfortunately, that doesn't last for me, so kind of really sucks. But I think a coverage like this is perfect for the type of smoky look I'm trying to create today, because although I am doing a smoky look, I feel like a lot of people have the impression that with the smoky look, complexion needs to be full coverage and have everything super glam, super jazzed up, which of course I myself like that from time to time, but that's not the type of look I'm trying to achieve today. I want this to be a very wearable, smoky look. I think I might add some shimmer to my eyes just because I've had a few requests. So I might do that towards the end of the look. But again, I'm trying to achieve something that's a little bit more comfortable and just a look to wear pretty much any time throughout the day. So that's why I think a type of finish like this is perfect, although this would honestly not be the foundation I would pick for myself. I just kind of wanted to give you guys an update, if it's even one, on that foundation. Alright, so for concealer, I only have one from Chanel. This is the Le Correcteur de Chanel concealer in the shade 30 Beige. So I don't know exactly why I decided to apply so much dark concealer, but I'm just gonna go ahead and start blending. This concealer is quite nice. It has a solid medium coverage. You can build it up a little, but honestly, I don't necessarily recommend that when it comes to concealers because they tend to look heavy quite easily. So if you want a foundation, or I'm sorry, if you want a concealer that's full coverage, this is definitely not going to be for you. But again, because of the look that I'm working with today, I actually don't mind this concealer, and I actually like it a lot for a day-to-day wear. I think it's perfect. It's not too heavy. If I am going through any dryness under my eyes, this is not one I reach for because it does tend to emphasize the dryness. But once my under eyes are normal, I do like to reach for this one. Then usually whatever extra I have, I like to kind of spread it where I need a little bit more brightness. I'll start creating some dimension around the face. Now I always have to set my T-zone because I do have large pores, so usually powder helps to diminish the appearance of that, even if it's for just for the day. So I'm going to use my Natural Finish Loose Powder from Chanel. Obviously everything I'm using today is from Chanel. This is in the shade 30 Natural Translucent Chew. So this is the original one. I have yet to try the new one. I mean, I don't need to. I have quite a bit of this one. And this powder I think is excellent at smoothing out my under eye area and my pores. I love this powder. Unfortunately, it doesn't do the job that a lot of my loose powders do. I find that most of my loose powders actually help seal my T-zone to prevent it from getting as oily throughout the day. I always get oily no matter what, but you know, some powders or most of my powders actually help combat that a little bit, whereas this one I don't necessarily find to be the case. Like I said, I do love how smoothing it is. So that's why I use this, but I know if I'm going to wear my makeup for a long period of time, I'm going to have to definitely touch up maybe a little sooner than if I use another loose powder. So it's one of those that's, you know, it's a give or take. Oh, I got powder on my hair. Alright, so I think from this point I'm going to let all of this start working with my skin, and we're gonna move over to the eyes and then we'll finish off the face in a little bit. So for my eyes, I do not have an eye primer from Chanel, so I'm gonna use my Fenty Pro Filter eye primer. Eye primers are definitely not a thing I get excited about when it comes to purchasing, so once I find one that I really like, I just stick to it. I don't plan on getting one from Chanel or really any other brand at the moment. I love this one, and since my eyelids do tend to get oily throughout the day, I always have to make sure I prime my eyes. So we're finally entering the first product that I'm going to show you guys from the Chanel Holiday collection this year, and it's one of these single eyeshadows. I only got one because I wanted to try to use this eyeshadow for a single shadow look. Does that make sense? I think so, right? And I'm happy to report that this is actually perfect for that. So I've already used this a few times. I've used it twice on its own and then once with another eyeshadow layered over top, and it just performs so beautifully. So today I'm going to first apply it on its own. I'll finish doing my eye makeup and then I'm gonna add a topper over. Now the topper is not gonna, oh no, yes, it is a Chanel product. What was I thinking? So this one's called the Ombre Premier Longwear Powder Eyeshadow in the shade 928 Cure Brun, and I'm happy with this one again because I think out of all the four released, this is the only one where I would be able to use on its own, and it can also be used to create a shadow eyeliner, which I actually enjoy quite a bit. The formula of this is a satin and it does have little micro specks of glitter, so it looks very nice on the skin. I really like this finish. If this was a matte shadow, I don't think I'd be able to use it as a standalone, but because of the finish that this has, it actually works really well alone if we work with it in layers. So that's actually what I'm going to be showing you guys right now. So I'm going to start off with a pencil brush and I'm going to use the Sonia G Pencil Pro, and we're going to go ahead and pick some of this up. And I'm really packing on the color on my brush here. So what I'm doing here is just applying it all over my lash line. There has to be zero precision with this since we are going to go in with a clean brush to blend all of this. So as of right now, all I'm doing is laying the color and then I'm laying it almost in that V shape here up to my crease, and then I'm going to have to pick up a little bit more, take it into the crease. So it's okay if it looks messy, but with a clean brush, I'm using the Crease Pro from Sonia G. I'm gonna start blending. So I'm gonna start here in the inner corner of the eye and just blend. And I'm not necessarily blending in place. I'm trying to move this shadow all over the lid, and you'll see I'll be doing the same thing when I get into the crease. Picked up more product, and I'm going to apply this on the outer portion of the lid here. Kind of work it in. And then back with the clean brush to blend. And this I'm going to try to blend more in place. So I don't want to take it in too much, but I do want this to look nice and seamless. Now I'm going to add some of this in the bottom lash line. And then back to blending this as well. One thing with smoky eyes that we need to keep in mind is it always looks like it's a hot mess until we finish the look. So right now it's probably looking like this is not going to lead to anything good, but it will. Just be a little bit patient. This is going to look a lot better in a little bit. This is honestly the best shade I have for a smoky look. We compare this with so many other eyeshadows, but to have this specific eyeshadow as a base for a smoky eye look, it is the best. I love this tone because it's not too dark, it's not matte. Love the finish for this. Really think it is a phenomenal eyeshadow. So I am going to end up adding a little bit of shimmer on top of my lids, but not until we're done with the whole look, so you guys can see how this eyeshadow looks on its own. I'm gonna go ahead and highlight the inner corners of my eyes. That is very much needed for this look. And so I'm gonna use the highlighter that we will be using for the face. And I'll be using this one here, which is the highlighter from last year's holiday collection. This one's called the Eclat Magnétique de Chanel in the shade Metal Peach. So with the pencil brush, I'm gonna go in pretty heavy here in the inner corner. And then I usually wipe off my brush and I'll go in and start blending. And then I'll also be adding some to the brow bone. You know, I do want to add some eyeliner, so I'm going to use this one. I don't want to go with anything too dark. This is from the fall collection, which, by the way, you guys, I bought both of the palettes from the fall collection, and I recorded one video, which was one of my pre-recorded videos that I did to post while I was on vacation, and I just never got around to posting it. So let me know if you still want to see those palettes in action. Anyway, so the eyeliner is in the shade Romance 955. So I'll apply this in the waterline. The good thing is that these are very pigmented, so you don't have to fuss too much with these. Right away you start getting pigment. Now for mascara, I only have samples from Chanel, so I'm going to use this one that I've already opened up. This is the Le Volume Revolution, and this is how the applicator looks. I think this one's already drying out on me. So I'm going to apply this on the top and bottom lashes. Alright, so we're going to leave the eyes as is for now, and let's finish off the face. So I'm going to go back to this highlighter and using my Sonia G mini, I think this is, yeah, the mini cheek brush. I'm going to start applying highlight on the high points of my cheekbones. Really enjoy this highlighter. And I like to work this really good into the skin. So I'm taking my time with the blending. nose and on the forehead. And then I do like to connect it here. For bronzer, oh, this has been one of my favorite bronzer releases for this year. I think it is absolutely gorgeous. I love it. Where is my bronzer brush that I was using? Oh, I'm gonna use my number 11 Wayne Goss brush. I think this is my favorite Chanel bronzer that I own. It's quite pigmented, so I like to use a brush like this that's very fluffy so that I don't add too much at once. It's also a very warm color, so it really makes it look like I've been sitting out in the sun when I apply this. So try to be a little careful to not apply too much. So now we're on to product number 2 from the Chanel Holiday Collection, and it is this beautiful blush. This is called the Les Chains de Chanel Illuminating Blush Powder. This is a really beautiful, unique color for a blush. Really pretty. It looks a lot deeper on the pan than it does on the skin, and it could mostly be because this is a baked gelée formula, so when you pick it up with a brush, it doesn't apply such heavy pigment. You'll have to continuously layer to get something like what you see here on the pan. But it is an illuminating blush. Now honestly, I actually thought it was going to be more illuminating than what it is, so I was pleasantly surprised because it's more wearable for me. I'm gonna apply this with my Sonia G Cheek Pro brush. And because of the finish, I'm going to try to avoid this area here where I do have larger pores, and just apply it starting from almost like my temple and then bring it inwards, just not too much. So here I picked up a pretty good amount. Now I'm laying most of the pigment back here. And then bringing it in, I'm gonna stop right here. So right before I get to the actual apples of my cheeks. It is a beautiful blush. To tell you guys the truth though, this is not, I don't know, I expected a little bit more from this. I really thought I was going to be like super wowed about it. And there's something about it that it has not taken me there. I've used this blush several times. Almost immediately after I did my luxury haul video, I started using it because I just couldn't wait. So I have been testing this out, and like I said, I think it's nice. It's a nice color, but there's just something about it that doesn't have me just crazy for it. I've definitely tried other blushes this blush season that I've enjoyed a lot more, but it's, you know, again, it's not to say it's a bad blush. It's really pretty. It's actually a lot more pigmented than I was expecting, considering that I've used this several times already. I'm not sure if it's because I've already broken past that first layer that now I'm able to pick up more color. Is that a thing? Maybe, I don't know. I mean, it looks nice, right? I think it does look nice. It's just, to me it's okay, maybe because I had such high expectations, but it's not bad at all. Now, I do want to calm this down a little bit. Usually when I do a smoky eye, I don't like to have a lot of color on my face. I don't want to look ghostly either, so there has to be that perfect balance for me. At the moment, I feel like I have a little bit too much going on, so I'm going to use this foundation powder. This one's called the Ultra Light Teint Ultra Wear All Day Comfort Flawless Finish Compact Foundation in the shade B40. And really what I'm going to do with this is apply it with my Surratt powder brush to do like that buffing technique. So I'll pick up a little there, and I'm going to start here and just start buffing. This will make the skin look a lot more seamless and it'll tone down the color of the bronzer and the blush, and then I did go a little heavy-handed with the highlighter as well, so it'll correct that a little too. Now, because this is a foundation, this will also provide a little bit of coverage. It all depends on the tool that you're using to apply this. So that's why I wanted to use my Surratt brush, because it's extremely soft. So this isn't going to allow a lot of coverage to be added. What a difference a little bit of that buffing technique does. It really just, it marries everything together, and I just love it. So this is the last product that I got from the holiday collection, and it is from the Rouge Allure line. The color I have is 107 or beige, and this is the lightest of the 4, I believe, that were released. So this color is quite unique. First of all, in case you guys are not familiar with the packaging of these lipsticks, it's beautiful. So it has the CCs here on top, and it says Chanel here in the bottom. And then to get the lipstick out, you simply press down and it pops up and you take it out. So really like the packaging of these Rouge Allure lipsticks. I also really like the formula of these as well. However, this one is not exactly the same formula as my other Rouge Allures, and I'm pretty sure it's because of the fact that this has a lot of little tiny micro specks of glitter. So it looks really pretty swatched. I love it. On the lips, I think it looks nice, but if you're going through any chappiness with your lips, any dryness, I would probably recommend that you do not use this, because I do find this to be a little drier than the other Allure Rouge lipsticks that I have. So again, I just think it's because of the glitters, but it looks even a little metallic-y on the lips. So let me go ahead and apply this so that I can actually show you guys. Now, while applying the lipstick, you will feel the glitter, but once it's on the lips, yeah, you don't feel any of it. So at least that is the case. But see how, it's got a really beautiful finish. It looks almost metallic-y because the glitters are like this gold glitter. So it looks really pretty, but I do think that once it starts to dry down, it starts to emphasize the lines on my lips a little too much, so it doesn't look as flattering. And that's what I'm saying. If your lips are dry, you definitely want to steer clear from this. Maybe apply some lip balm before you go in with that lip product. But the color itself, I think it's really pretty, and it complements this eye look very well. I went ahead and scooted you guys back so that you can see how this makeup looks using all of these products and using the 3 products from the Chanel holiday collection. More so you can see this eye look and see how it looks as a standalone eyeshadow. I think this looks great. This is a very soft smoky eye look in my opinion. We can always go darker, but I wouldn't want to, because I think anything darker than this for my sense of style will just be a little too much. This is as dark as I would like to take a smoky look. And I love that we only use one eyeshadow. All it takes is some building up, some blending, and you got yourself a beautiful eye look. And honestly, this is something that you can do with any other darker eyeshadows that you may have. If it's a satin finish especially, I think you will see that those function a lot better than if you were to use another formula. So I'm gonna scoot you guys back in so that we can add some shimmer to these lids. When I posted my video on the new Dior Glow Face palettes, I had several of you reach out in the comments on that video, even through Instagram, asking me what I was wearing on my eyes. And I could not believe how many people loved my eye look, and it was so easy to achieve. So that is what I'm going to show you guys today in this portion of the video. I did use the eyeshadow that I'm currently wearing. I actually packed it onto the lids a lot more than I did today, but I'm going to leave it as is, again, because this is how I would wear this eyeshadow on its own mostly, but to add a little something, you can always use another eyeshadow and just pop it over the top. So today I'm going to use New Moon from Chanel. This is the eyeshadow I wore over Queer Brun in that video that you guys were just obsessing over, and I get it. I mean, it was a really nice look. So by the way, this is from the Illusion d'Ombre line, and again, it's in the shade 97 New Moon. So I'm gonna apply this. I actually recommend that you apply it with your fingers, but since I do have long nails right now, I'm gonna use my MAC 283 brush and pick some of this up. This eyeshadow I've loved for years. This is actually my second one. So I'll go ahead and just apply it all over the lid. I think it's just so beautiful. And check out that Dior video after this if you guys want to see that eye look. I mean, I didn't do a tutorial or anything, it's just so you guys can see my makeup. I had packed on that holiday eyeshadow really good on the lids, and then I applied this over. So the final look against this one today is a little bit different because that one was darker on the lids. But either way, these two work so beautifully together. And look at that, so easy to use. So this is the final look, doing a full face of Chanel. Really love how everything worked together. Honestly, I did kind of expect to love my look afterwards, and I love it. As far as the holiday collection, I think all of the products that I purchased are really nice, but if I had to pick a favorite, oddly, although it looks boring, because this looks boring as heck, I mean, it's a brown eyeshadow, so although it looks boring, this is actually my favorite product from the Chanel holiday collection. Granted, I only picked up 3 products, so maybe if I would have tried something else would have taken the spot of this, but from the 3 products that I got, I think this is just beautiful because, like I've mentioned throughout this video, it is just the perfect shade for a smoky look. For a smoky look that I like, enjoy, and feel comfortable in. So guys, let me know if you've tried any of these products that I showed you today. Have you picked up anything from the Chanel holiday collection? Please share with me in the comments down below. I love talking makeup with you guys, so let's get a conversation going. If you guys did enjoy this video, if you found it informative, please make sure to give me a thumbs up. It really does help me out a lot. And while you're there, if you have not yet, do not forget to subscribe so you do not miss out on any of my future videos. Thank you guys so much for spending some time with me today. Until next time.